in some ways, I mean, I think they write some great songs, and they've had some awesome songs that I love to play on the radio. And I've seen them many times, and they're always fun to see. But they also have this caricature aspect to them. The makeup and the merchandising, the completely over-the-top merchandising doesn't bother anybody. It's almost expected, Of course there's Kiss bobbleheads. Of course there's going to be, a Gene Simmons, look-alike. Of course there's going to be a Kiss casket. Everybody expects that. And I think that they could get away with doing a Kiss show, almost like a play, like a touring thing, like the circus. Like the circus comes back around 10 years later. There's nobody in the circus that was there 10 years ago, but you're still going to see it. Maybe not Ringling Brothers, but, it's the comparison I'm trying to make. So Kiss could actually be considered a circus in that regard. And so when they come back around, if they're still doing the show with all the bells and whistles and the pyrotechnics, it would still be a fun night out, wouldn't it? So I think I would have to say probably that it could work.
I suppose so. But I mean, the example that Paul kind of gives to justify that is, well, it's not the same person playing Batman. It's always a different person in the mask.
Well, he does have a point.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, he does have a point, but it's like, people aren't dumb. People aren't going up to, Christian Bale and being like, oh my God, you're Batman. And then, he's standing in a row like all these guys were Batman. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if Kiss, without any of the original members, goes out there doing it, I would say it's not rock and roll. I would say that's entertainment, or that's show business, and that's all it is. It's just show business. It's a play. It's it's the life of Kiss. It's whatever. It's not Kiss, but if people may still be willing to see it if they can deliver as entertaining a show. Future generations may be interested in that. Who knows? But it's not rock and roll. People need to realize. Rock and roll is a feeling, and it's a spirit, and it's a moving forward, moving the music forward with a real, honest passion. And I would think that would not be in a Kiss recreation. That it would just be business, show business. There's no business like show business. That's what he's saying. And I'm not saying that's necessarily wrong. It's a different thing.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how it goes out, because I remember Paul in an interview saying, well, I'm not just going to give somebody the keys to the car and just say, lock up when you're done. It's like, I get it, you're going to be working with them, but, it's I don't know, it doesn't seem like it would be really the same thing,
Yeah, but you might go once to check it out.
Well, yeah, because the reason to do anything in life is you get a story out of it. Whether it's good or it's bad, you get a story out of it, and you know what? You can entertain some people with that story. So yeah, I could go and see them and just say, hey, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Or I could go to my friends and just say, you guys got to go with me next time. You're not going to believe the fucking train wreck I just watched.
Right, that's true. In which case, they get all your other friends' money because they want to see how bad it is. So either way, they win and you lose.
You don't know my friends, Carter.
One person I know they're not going to give the keys to is Vinnie Vincent.
Yeah, no, he's no.
No, I wouldn't think he'd get the keys. No. Car alarm go off and he gets close.
Oh, forget it. He is like. If Vinnie Vincent were, like, personified as a city, I think he would be, like, downtown Detroit.
Well, yeah, there you go. Or downtown Beirut.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd say, like, maybe, like, downtown, or probably, like, the shittiest part of, like, Hell's Kitchen that you could find. That one corner in an alley that's just covered with piss and blood and police tape.
Well, some people like to come from places like that. Lou Reed made a career of it.
Yeah.
So, hey, you know what? Wherever you find your inspiration. Sometimes people find inspiration from those dark places, and some people need the light. I mean, it's not, there's no one way to do it. There's a lot of ways to rock, and to bring it, and you got to bring your inspiration no matter what. And if that inspires you, then you can take that forward. I would think that if the guys in Kiss, did that, I would hope that Paul Stanley would then have some inspiration somewhere else. I know he likes to paint, but musically, I would hope that he would keep doing it in another way, and then that would be rock and roll because he's still moving forward. But if Kiss doing Kiss without Kiss, Kissless. They should call it Kissless.
Yeah, it's what would you really call it at that point? It's just it wouldn't to me it wouldn't be Kiss.
You call it the Kiss show. I mean, you think about this. Another thing just occurred to me. There's like all these Kiss tribute shows out there. So this would be like the #1 Kiss tribute show.
I suppose so, but I mean, it's nobody's gonna want to go see like a cover band in place of like nobody wants to go see Draw the Line in favor of like going to see Aerosmith, for example.
Right, but if they don't have the opportunity to do Aerosmith, they will go see Draw the Line. And a lot of times it's availability. The band doesn't tour that often. Or in some cases, obviously, the band's broken up. Or it's just too damn expensive, so you'd rather go see the cover band. I mean, tribute bands fill clubs, and clubs and theaters are booking them because they sell out. So, I mean, it is viable from a business standpoint that it could be the officially sanctioned Kiss tribute show. And probably would be successful because these tribute bands are successful. So, I think they know that. They're smart. They're business smart. They love rock, but they're business smart. So, I've been talking about it for a while, but it really makes a big point. I mean, it could really continue. It could, it's better than a pinball machine.
I don't know. I don't know. Have you played pinball recently?
Well, I do. I like pinball. I seek out pinball machines in arcades. I spend a lot of time up in New Hampshire, and Weirs Beach has some really good pinball machines up there. So I love pinball. I just don't get the same. I just don't get the same feeling out of a video game.
Would you say you're a pinball wizard? Sorry, I'll file that one.
Well, that knock that happens when you get a free game?
Yep.
It's pretty close to orgasm.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
There you go. Well, there you go. Well, there's a whole new topic of discussion, which we're not going to go to.
No. We'll save that for book number 2.
Yeah, well, that'd be quite a different book. Well, all right, man. I got to jump, I think.
Definitely. I just want to ask you one last question, and then we'll
Sure.
let you go here. Is there anybody, like, you've been to so many concerts, like, I mean, there's 50 of them in the book, there's countless others that you haven't written about. Is there, like, a Carter Allen band bucket list that you haven't seen that you've wanted to see?
Well, let me think here. Who would I really like to go see that I have never seen? Well, there were a couple, and believe it or not, this is, I had never seen Grand Funk Railroad, and I wanted to back in the day, because once I had a ticket for a show when I was a kid, and it canceled. But I actually went to see them, and 2/3 of the band is original, and the drummer sang a lot of the hits. So I saw them last summer at Indian Ranch, of all places, and it was cool to see them. So I like going to see bands that I haven't seen. I actually saw a guy named Jean-Michel Jarre this past week, who was he's kind of like Kraftwerk. He was in one of the early days of space rock keyboard stuff, and he hardly ever tours. He's from France, and I always wanted to see him. Finally got to see him. But people still on the bucket list. I'm trying to think if there's anybody I haven't really seen it. I really would like to. Oh man, you got me in a spot here. I can't think of anything. So I told you, I might not be. I might. I think you got me. I think I've seen just about everybody I need to see.
I don't know. For some reason, I can see you at a future Steel Panther concert. I think if they come around to Boston again, I think I could see you at one of their shows.
There you go. I would have liked to have seen one of the AC/DC shows with Axl singing, just because I was so skeptical that would ever happen, and then it happened, and people said it was pretty good. I would have liked to see one of those shows. I don't think that'll ever happen again, so I won't have the opportunity, but I'd love to see that again. Some of these bands, that went away, I would have loved to have another crack at a Nirvana show, but that's not going to happen.
No.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly.
But Steel Panther,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe I'll see it at a Steel Panther show.
Yeah, maybe.
I never got to see Led Zeppelin. I never got to see him. There was one show I was going to be able to go to, but then the concert got canceled because the fans rioted when they were getting tickets at the Boston Garden, so the mayor of Boston canceled the show. So I never got to see Zeppelin. So if there was ever an opportunity, they got together and did the O2 Arena, and that album Celebration Day came out of that. That was a pretty good show for them not having done it for so many years and getting older. I love Robert Plant, and I've seen Jimmy Page, I've seen Plant, I've seen John Paul Jones, I've seen them all solo, but never had a chance to see, the three of them together. And I consider that valid with Jason Bonham on the drums. I think that's a pretty good unit.
Yeah, and he's definitely a solid drummer himself,
Yeah, he is, and so I would, I would say that would be in the bucket list because it's still possible. I'm thinking I've seen everybody else. There's got to be somebody else. I'll think of it when I'm driving home. Wait a minute! I know something! I know someone I need to see!
Let me call him back!
Come back! I saw George Harrison, I've seen Paul McCartney, I've seen Ringo Starr. I would have loved to have seen John Lennon, but that was kind of before my time. And he didn't tour again he didn't play again after, I think, 75 when he got on stage with Elton John. That was it. So that was, but see, that's an example of a band I'd never have a chance to see. So we'll just say Led Zeppelin and let it stand for that.
All right, until I get a phone call later.
Yeah. Hey, man, I forgot to tell you. I really want to see Cockney Rebel, that band that nobody remembers from England back in 1975.
Just going to get this really random phone call from you like, I wanted to see the Vinnie Vincent Invasion so badly.
It kept me up all night until I was able to get a hold of you to let you know.
Carter,
well, all right, man. Well, it's been a lot of fun talking.
Definitely, man. It's been a lot of fun catching up with you, man. It was really good seeing you recently, and we definitely got to do this again, man. I'm sure you got more stories locked up in your brain that just want to come out and be told.
They're fighting to get out. They're beating me up trying to get out. I've got to write them down before I get waylaid here. I've got to get them out. Got to get them out. Well, all right, my friend. I will talk to you soon.
Definitely, sir. And you have an open invitation to come on this podcast anytime you want to. Just let me know, and we'll make it work.
You got it, man.
All right, sir. Great talking to you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, special thanks to Carter Allen for coming on the podcast and just shooting the shit with me, and just talking about his books, talking about concert stories, some of the bands that he's seen, some of the ones he's interacted with, and it's always cool catching up with a guy. So if you like Carter, or you want to go meet him in person, maybe grab his new book, the Decibel Diaries, Journey Through Rock Through 50 Concerts. He's going to be at the Barnes & Noble in Burlington, Massachusetts on May 27th at 12 p.m. He's going to be at the Barnes & Noble in Salem, New Hampshire at 2 p.m. on June 10th. And he's going to be at Porter Square Books on Tuesday, 7 p.m. at, on June 27th in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So go meet him, go say hey, and tell him you liked him on the podcast, and, hey, he'll come back. I hope he will. I'm pretty sure he will. And for those asking, yes, Bruce and I will be back doing our STS Radio gig. I know it's definitely been a while, but our schedules just haven't lined up. I'm busy working 2 jobs. He has other interests as well, so the way I look at it is we're taking a bit of a sabbatical. It's been a while, so I thought this night's interview with Carter would be really, really cool to come back with.